WWE Here Comes the Pain is one of the best wrestling games ever made. With its immersive roster, deep story mode, solid presentation, enhanced creative suites, and over 50 different matches, WWE Here Comes the Pain was the best wrestling game on the market in its time, and still after over 15 years, there isn't a wrestling game that you can say is anywhere near as good as this classic. So in this list, I'll show you 5 things you may or may not have known about this epic title in the Smackdown series. The original Smackdown series consisted of 4 games, and Here Comes the Pain was the final in that series before we would get Smackdown vs. Raw the following year. Smackdown vs. Raw is what the series would be known for a long time after this, leading all the way until Smackdown vs. Raw 2011. While this is just a title and the series surely wouldn't have changed too much whether the title changed or not, Here Comes the Pain was like the end of an era before the games would get more and more sophisticated in the years to come. Like many of the previous Smackdown games, this game would feature many characters that would be removed before the game's release. These characters range from early beta characters to characters removed right before release due to contract negotiations. The 3 beta characters removed from the game are Jeff Hardy, Hulk Hogan, and the Ultimate Warrior. Other characters include Spike Dudley, Billy Kidman, Billy Gunn, William Regal, Bradshaw, Molly Holly, and 3 Minute Warning. These characters were not included simply because their models were not finished. It's a shame Jeff, Hogan, and Warrior were not in the game because they would have added so much to this game, making it even better than it already was. In 2003, Cain went through a huge storyline when Rob Van Dam exposed his face, removing the mask of the Devil's favorite demon. This was arguably the greatest period of Cain, making him the center of storylines, turning him into a genuine monster that did such horrible things as lighting Jim Ross on fire. For the first time ever in Smackdown Here Comes the Pain, you could control this harbinger of destruction and do many matches seemingly created for the monster Cain. One thing the Smackdown games always had that were compelling were their controls. Even though No Mercy and other N64 games were so fun, the controls were never as appealing as in Smackdown. This was taken up a notch in Here Comes the Pain with their new revamped control system. Depending on which direction you pressed, you would trigger a different grappling animation and can do a wide variety of different moves. This took matches to a whole nother level, and thanks to a faster gameplay and an arcade flow style, Here Comes the Pain had the best controls of any wrestling game at the time. Modern games still use a similar style of controls, but they are nowhere near as fluid as they were back in Here Comes the Pain. The Elimination Chamber was the last great original match type created by the WWE. Influenced by matches such as War Games and Hell in a Cell, the Elimination Chamber was the ultimate way to find out who is truly the best in a 6-man environment. This was one of the most hyped features leading to the release of Here Comes the Pain, being the first time you could ever play inside of Satan's playground.